Hello, crypto community. How are you? I am doing pretty decent. Um, Today I wanted to talk about a Romanian exchange. Okay, now this exchange has been around since 2014, and they run into a bunch of issues in the beginning. With their exchange. I mean, they were trying to sell it, then they weren't selling it. They decided to build it. But of course, everything was kind of like a domino effect from their developer holding, or allegedly their developer holding, their server hostage. Um, so they were kind of going through a bunch of litigation between their developer back and forth, and so finally now they've decided to shut down the exchange. They had a buyer back in the day. Then the buyer pulled out. Then they continued, and now they're finally saying, "Okay, that's it. We're done." Which is pretty insane. In my opinion. It's that's what I was kind of talking about before. When it comes to a lot of like these development tasks and things like these. Developers. It requires a specific analytical level of thinking. And projections and things like that. Not only from a environmental perspective, but overall forecasting perspective on where your entire organization is going to go. But there's multiple things that can occur. Specifically when you're working with technologies that you don't fully understand. So with that being said, it's gonna probably make you pull your hair out and go bald, and uh, but never, 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 never give one individual total control of your organization. Which means all your user IDs and all your passwords, and even if you do, always have some sort of a backup contingency plan. There's multiple profiles that you can create, within a web server. That doesn't necessarily have to mean that, say, hey, I'm giving you all root access. I can give you, admin access, and specifically limit you to specific, certain functions that you're allowed to do and that you're not allowed to do. For example, change passwords. Access somebody else's account. And things like that. So you have to kind of design your entire infrastructure in a way where that it's not going to be breakable. And then even then, re-review it again to ensure that, hey, I have all of my necessary keys to operate this thing, or, if in case if anything goes down. The best way to kind of look at this is, just look at it as like a normal brick and mortar store, where you go in, you say, hey, $10, give me some crypto, and the guy goes, here you go, here are your coins. But in a nutshell, what you're doing is, you're giving them the key to the store, you're giving them the key to the register, the key to the save, the key to everything, and not giving yourself a key, or allowing yourself or allowing them the ability to change that key or that lock, and then when that happens, without any kind of like a regulatory environment. Specifically the internet, when you're talking about some of these applications and these exchanges, they're doing multi-million dollars worth of, transactions on a daily basis. So even when you go through all the necessary litigation and everything like that, think about all of the days of business that has been lost because of this, individual developer who just happens to run away with a user ID and a password. And then on top of that, of course, how these exchanges are designed is that there's not supposed to be any backdoors. You look at a lot of these validated environments. For example, SharePoint. SharePoint is very prevalent in almost every other, every major organization in the world right at the moment. Right, it's a Microsoft product. It's a team collaboration tool. Send documents back and forth, process controls, workflow managements, and all kinds of things that are in there that are implemented into SharePoint. But it cannot be utilized in a validated environment. Why? Because there's too many backdoors to it. So when you're looking at these exchanges, they're designed and developed to ensure that there are no backdoors for that specific reason. It's a validated environment. It requires a lot of numerical and mathematical calculations to pretty much, deliver what it is that they're going to promise to deliver, and then, in exchange for XYZ, Bitcoin, Litecoin, whatever the transaction might be. So the name of the Romanian Bitcoin exchange is BT Exchange. Um, and I'm looking at this article, and it is just absolutely insanity. Problems from the start by December 2014. I mean, these guys are like veterans. They've been around for a while. I've been trading for a little bit, but this is my first actual development, project moving forward within like the blockchain. I'm not, I haven't been developing these since 2014. I've been studying them since like back in the day, since 2011, 2010. And I actually specifically remember when Bitcoin was coming out, and it was just like, it's just a tokenization, it's a coupon, no big deal, and you kind of look at like how some of these, point systems kind of worked out for like bonus cards. You go to the store, hey, here's my bonus card, boop, you're gonna get so many bonus cards, it keeps accumulating. So I kind of started like, what I mean, like putting it together that way until I actually understood it fully and completely to see where it was going, the technology behind it, implementation of it, the ability to hack it or unhack it or anything of the sort. So you got to kind of look at it from that way. And these guys, they've been veterans. They've been around for a long time. And back in 2014, like I said, they were accusing its lead programmer of holding its servers hostage. The notice said that the exchange had lost all access to its Bitcoin exchange servers. You've lost access to your entire house, your entire building, your entire business. I mean, it could be, a name is Marcus, or it could be Grandma and Grandpa's store, right down the street, or even an Alex, an Alex's lemonade stand, which is locked, and you gave somebody else a key and they're refusing to give it back to you. So that's how detrimental these web servers are, when it comes to your business and your organization. So these guys shut down, they were going through all this litigation, and the exchange relaunched back in 2016. And then in 2018, Nikula announced receiving a letter from Idea Bank that BTC Exchange's bank accounts would be closed in 15 days. That marked the fourth bank account closed for the exchange in 12 months. So now, what's happening with these guys. They are closing. They have given everyone a specific time frame to go ahead and get their Bitcoin and their cryptocurrency out. And I believe that is on May 1st. So if you have any currency in there at the moment, pull it out, put it in cold storage, put it somewhere else. And hopefully that these guys do not limit you like, some of these other exchanges do, on your daily limit. Either, if you're a high time roller, or if you're trading $10, $20, $30 a day, whatever it might be. But some of these exchanges, they do limit you to total number of transactions, monetary transactions per day. It might be 5,000 like Plenix, but they'll gradually increase you as your trading occurs, and they kind of see that hey, this guy is an active trader, etc. So a rule of thumb, never leave any of your cryptos within exchanges. And again, two-factor authentication. It's secure, but that can still be manipulated and hacked. Like I said, majority of these hacks, they don't occur on the blockchain itself. They occur on the token, and they enter through that channel. Or from a multiple factor authentication perspective, hackers, they typically hack your phone that grants them access to XYZ. So like I said, I can't emphasize it enough. Everything is an onion. Everything is a layer. So I mean, you've got to lock and key every single layer that you create, and even then, you're not 100% secure. From other methods of hacking. It could be a social hack. It could be hack brute force. Somebody could hold you hostage and say, give me your Bitcoin. It could be somebody that holds your entire machine hostage that says, give me your Bitcoin. So you gotta foresee things like that to kind of prevent against it. And even then, nothing is 100% guaranteed that hey, I am completely protected, because anything is possible. So with that being said, do not pull your hair out, do not shave your head bald or anything like that, or cover your face in all like black dye and walk around the neighborhood with like a necklace of shoes. So get it out of there. Move it into some cold storage. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend leaving it in an exchange because some of the exchanges that have declined and fallen in the past, were some fine examples of how that can occur and what the ramifications of it can be. So do your due diligence and stay ahead of the game, stay alive, and protect your assets. In the meantime, definitely check out Zosting.com. Zosting.net ICO is live, like I said, is ready to rock and roll. It is moving. And you will need MetaMask to do any kind of investment into Zosting.net ICO, which is on Oracle's POA network. So, like I said, this was maybe like we created maybe over 15, 20 test tokens, and then did multiple testing on that to try to break it, manipulate it, do all kinds of things, infinite minting scripts, and all that other stuff, and we just simply couldn't do it. So that is a very, very good sign. I know some of the leading projects that are out there have also utilized the same method. They're doing absolutely fantastic. We're hoping to follow in their footsteps, or just have this as a massive learning experience. There is no failure when it comes to learning. Either you learn or you fail, but you can't do one without the other. You can't win without learning. You can't fail without learning. Everything is an experience. So definitely check it out, Zosting.net. The ICO is live. It's on Oracle's POA network, and we are ready to rock and roll. And of course, I can't emphasize it enough, protect your assets. Simple as that. You don't go around giving somebody access to your bank account, where they can lock you out of your own bank account. You don't give access to somebody, that can lock you out of your own house or your own store or your own business or heck, your own car. So, you got to kind of look at, these tiny, tiny little packets of applications, which, you just see on your computer screen, you got to look at them that way, specifically if you have any form of investment into these. So be careful, and Crypto One. Until next time, take it easy, guys.